All right, disappointed, on such a special night for our seniors. I hate it that we couldn't pull off a victory. But Maryland was much better than we were in every category, executing offensively. We did a poor job defensively. We didn't execute on the other side offensively very well throughout. We got it within 2, and then I think, turned it over. And then they went down and capitalized, and then the score seemed to increase. So, just really disappointed, how we can play so great at home just a week ago against Ohio State, and then, come out on such a exciting night, a special night, and, look as flat as we look. So I don't have really any great answers for that. But Maryland's a very good team. We knew that they're really good on the road, and so we made sure that our players knew that. But I liked how Yarden. I thought she was aggressive tonight. She stayed in and played with 4 fouls, which I thought was great. I thought Shea stayed aggressive. I thought that was, she did some really good things for us and tried to play fast. Outside of that, the other pieces struggled.
Teri, I know you've answered questions like this often this season, and I know you only have so many ways of saying the same things, but I guess what do you feel like this team is missing right now? Or I guess, what do you feel like you guys need to start kind of peaking at the right time?
It's focus, Seth. I mean, that's what's missing. We're not a very focused team, and I think when we're really focused, hyper-focused like we were against Ohio State, I think we know what we're capable of. I didn't feel like against Michigan State, didn't feel like we were focused on the game plan, what we had to take away in order to put ourselves in a position to win the game. And then, again tonight, it's our staff works so hard on scouting reports and tendencies of players, we it's a 2-day prep, normally, and with the turnaround, but I can't tell you how hard we work as a staff and making sure that our scouting reports are detailed, especially with the tendencies of the players, and just not sets. We certainly cover that, but a lot of it comes down to one-on-one, right? A lot of it comes down to that one-on-one defense, tendencies of the players that you're guarding, and then most nights, a lot of that action, the first part of it, we guard, and then when things start to flatline, it just becomes it's a broken play, and now you really got to dig your heels into the ground, and you just got to play. You got to be able to guard. You got to be able to rotate. You got to be able, to help each other, and that takes an incredible amount of focus. And I think if there's one thing that, I attribute, some of our mishaps, it's that we're just. Because trust me, they see it every day. They hear it every day. Why it's not resonating, but to me, it's focus, it's consistency. It's probably those two things: focus and being consistent, night in and night out.
Teri, from the offensive point of view, I mean, Maryland's a physical team. That's nothing new. You knew that coming in. The response in the second quarter to their physical defense was obviously not what you wanted. It was a little bit better in the second half, but what do you want to see the players kind of take away from a team that defends them the way Maryland did and apply it going forward?
Well, again, Todd, it's no different than how Michigan State guarded us. They're physical. This league is physical, right? And we have to embrace that. That's just part of it. It's part of being at this level. It's part of being in the Big Ten. There's a lot of teams, Maryland, Michigan State, the USCs, the UCLAs, they're all physical. And, we can't run away from that. We can't. We have to embrace it. We have to realize it's just going to be part of, how they're going to guard. And we got to do a much better job of whether it's setting up our cuts, whether it's cutting harder, being from a passing perspective, delivering passes that are on time and on target, because you got a small window, when you're dealing with teams that are that physical, and anytime you can get off of them, that the passer has to be ready to make, the play that's going to get us, a shot, and so. Yeah, I want us to be, at one point we were a really physical team. And I don't know if, why that is. I don't feel like we're as physical as some other teams, but I know we need to be. We need to be as physical back. Like I told Chloe, at one point, Cheyenne Sellers just pushed her off and popped back and got a shot. And I said, nobody should come in here and push you off, right? You got to stand your ground and not let teams, bully you like that. And so, do I wish we were more physical? Absolutely.
Yeah, Teri, you said after the Illinois loss in January that there was a low energy practice, lack of focus. Are you still seeing that in any ways, or any concern with how?
No, I don't think, at this point in the season, look, I don't think we're the only team in America that probably practice is not one of our favorite things we do. I think they would rather play, but we're not a team that can take multiple days off or an extra day off here and there. I don't think we're a team that can only go a short time because we need the preparation, and so that can't be an excuse for why we lose to Michigan State, or we're on the road. Well, too bad. There's 17 other schools in this conference that do the same thing. We're no different. We're not special. We got to be able to show up, and whether it's practice, and this is what I'll say, and I've said this to our kids before, there's no difference between practice standards and game standards. You simply play how you practice, right? And so there's no such thing, they're not different for me. And so our kids have to understand that. They got to be better at it, and I think that they've tried. And tonight was a night that, I thought our practices, I thought our shoot around today was focused. There was a great energy. I don't know if it was just because of the night, it was senior night. And I think we all wanted to put our best foot forward for those three seniors. But we didn't get it done.
Were you surprised? I mean, do you expect them to ascend at some point? Because you knew kind of the first couple months of the season, turning the page on McKenzie, that there'd be kind of growing pains.
Yeah.
You always sounded optimistic that there'd come a point where you guys would click. And
Yep.
I guess, are you surprised that never really happened? And
Yeah,
when you look at it, you mentioned kind of consistency,
Yeah.
sort of flat effort.
Yep.
From the player perspective, did you get
Yeah.
enough leadership
It's
from them?
it's all of it, Mike. But I think that that's a great question for you to ask our student athletes. Like, what is it? What is it that we're missing here, right? Because trust me when I tell you, I wish I could come in here with better answers to a lot of your guys' same questions of why we do the things we do sometimes, whether it's defensively, whether it's offensively, whether it's not rebounding, whether it's not taking care of the ball. And as the leader of this program, I know I should have the answers, but I have, and our staff have, trust me, we've shown them, we've talked to them as a group about, the things that continue to, be issues for us, and why we can't kind of get over, the hurdle of when we face adversity. With Michigan State, it was like things weren't going our way, and so we all kind of got into our own feelings, which can never happen. When you face adversity, the last thing you need to be doing is thinking about yourself. You need to be thinking about your teammates, because ultimately that will help you. I don't know that we're a team like that. I think we get into our feelings too quick. Then we pulled within 5, right? And then all of a sudden we had this fight in us. That's too late. Like, we got to fight from the jump. We got to fight from the start. And I thought, coming out in the first half, like missing those two, those rebounds, they got wide open shots, just didn't go in. I mean, I did not feel good over there about what we were giving up, both offensively in transition and what we were giving up from a rebounding perspective. I question if we had the fight tonight. right? Because we knew it was going to be a fight. To keep them off the glass, all right? They're terrific in transition, to not give up anything easy. And, we didn't have the fight. So, it's a great question. That why is it that the consistency piece? I don't know. We're not going to stop fighting. Here till the very end with trying to figure out what it is. But it's been disappointing. It's been frustrating. And we're always as coaches trying to figure out, okay, what other angle can we come that they'll maybe get the message, right? Whether it's you coach them up, you love them up, you're encouraging, you still coach them hard, but you realize that again they need confidence. And so I think we've walked a fine line with the group all year of not wanting them to lose their confidence, but also still having to coach them hard. And it's been a group that it's been hard to figure out sort of the recipe to how to get to them where they're not making those same mistakes, how they're coming together when things get tough. But like I said, we're not going to quit. We're not going to quit fighting, trying to figure it out.
Teri, what was the game plan with Cheyenne Sellers, and why do you think it wasn't successful in the fourth quarter?
Well, we did a great job in the first half, and then we had Yarden on her in the first half, and then she picked up her fouls, and then we put Chloe on her, which we thought was a safe bet, and then she got going. She hit the 2 back-to-back threes just off of a little flex action that they like to run, and she read it. Chloe jumped it, the second time she jumped it way too far. The first time was just a little bit of I think it was an on-ball screen that they had an opportunity, I think she and Yarden, to switch back, and they didn't. And so, kids like her, she's a pro, that get cooking like that. When they feel it, they see one go in and then another one go in, and then things start to feel real easy for them. So, she's a great player.
You mentioned this was disappointing, but the season is coming to an end fast. Are you impressing urgency every day now?
Yeah, we've talked about that. They know they have to play with
Not that much time.
Yeah, trust me, Lou. We've used words urgency. Making sure that we come with extra juice. And other words that I don't want to say in here. Just to try to get them going. Trust me, they know that they have to have urgency, and the window is closing quickly.
With all those things that you've been talking about with the focus and the mindset and the fight and all of that, does any of this boil down to the player leadership? And when you're giving a message, you can only say it so many times, and they need to be saying it amongst each other?
Absolutely. I've always said this, Seth, that a player-led team is so much better than a coach-led team. And so, Chloe has to look at herself and Sid and Strip, those seniors that, especially Chloe, who's been here the longest, and Sid, who we depend on because she's so vocal, right? Ask themselves if they think they're doing enough, right, inside of that locker room to help their team, because they need to. If they're not, then they need to. But trust me when I tell you, they've heard that message also. But I've always believed that, like that locker room, having great leadership. When I think back to the Allie Patbergs and the Grace Bergers, those are two of the best leaders because they just, they were such great competitors that they held each other accountable, but they didn't care about hurting feelings. They wanted to win. We'll see here. I got a big one on Sunday, I guess, our last one at Purdue Sunday. And see how we can bounce back. But, like I said, on a special night, which, again, I'm so grateful for those seniors and what they've given our program. All of them mean something different to me. I've been able to coach Chloe, her entire career. And then for Sid to come back and be a part of Indiana. And then, Strip's been such a blessing as well. So, I hate it that we couldn't win it for them.
Does it feel like a bittersweet night? I mean, it was sentimental. You wanted to win. You were ahead. And you're 5 years at Assembly Hall. So a lot going on.
Yeah, definitely bittersweet, taking it all in. You know, obviously me and Sid and Carol wanted to end our Assembly Hall journey with a win, but we didn't get that tonight, so. But just reflecting over my 5 years, I'm so grateful for being able to do this journey with the teammates and coaching staff that I've had.
Sydney, just when you look at this season and the way it's gone for you guys, just what do you feel like this team is missing right now? Or I guess what do you feel like you guys need to start kind of peaking at the right time going into March?
I don't know. I think we had a rough game today. I think we saw glimpses of us playing how we can play, but Maryland's a ranked team. They're really good. We're not ranked, but we know we need to come out with those wins. We've seen it a couple of times this season, but we have to make sure we go to Purdue, handle business, and then it's game on, and we all know that, and we have to make a run in the right time, and we're gonna do that. We're a team that's really together. Togetherness, we say a lot, and I think we saw glimpses of that tonight. But we'll figure it out. I'm not too worried about it. I don't think we've ever blinked with this group.
Yep.
Yeah, Chloe, Teri kind of hinted at a lack of focus, maybe a lack of fight tonight being an issue. Just curious, do you agree with that? Did you see any of that causing any issues tonight?
You know, she obviously has a different perspective because she gets to sit on the sidelines and kind of watch and see everything. But I think, you know, Maryland hit some tough shots. They really hit some great open shots as well, and we kind of gave them those things, and game plan just, I mean, yeah, we didn't get to execute the game plan very well, I guess.
Sydney, Maryland's a team that plays physical defense. That's nothing new. That's what they do. What for the teams that have played you guys physical this year, what do you think is the thing that might be missing, something that needs to be learned in terms of when you see physical defenses down the line?
Just making sure we punch first and they don't throw us off our line defensively for us offensively. You know, like just being stronger with the ball, not forcing turnovers. I think we had a lot of silly turnovers. I know I did in the game that were kind of careless just because they sped us up a little bit in the half court. But I think we knew that was coming. And we have to prepare for it because once March hits, I think every team turns into that aggressive, gets up into you type of team.
For either of you, you know, Teri, and from you guys talking throughout the season, everybody kind of expected there'd be some growing pains in the first month or two, turning the page on McKenzie, different style, different players. But, you know, Teri was confident that things would kind of click and you guys would build some momentum, but it's been kind of one step forward, two steps back throughout the year. Are you surprised it hasn't kind of clicked into place like that? And is there any sense of why that hasn't happened before now? 'Cause I mean, I know you said, Sid, that you're confident you'll get it figured out, but any reason that you can pinpoint that maybe it hasn't all clicked together yet?
Obviously, we've been very inconsistent going at each game, but I will say in terms of clicking, I know we didn't come out with a win tonight, like I said, but I have faith in us to click at the right time.
Nope, that's good.
Any other questions, Moren? Yeah.
For both of you, what will you miss most about playing in this building and in front of these home fans?
I will definitely miss the atmosphere, and I will miss having fans that know basketball and don't kind of just cheer when to cheer. They kind of know what's going on, and I think I'll miss the most them being our sixth man out there on the court.
Yeah, I'll miss my family being in the stands at every game and seeing little girls with 33 jerseys walking down the aisle and just seeing the look on some of the girls' faces, even after a loss. Like, they don't care about how many turnovers you had or how many shots you missed. Like, they care about getting to know you as a person and the joy on their face that they get when they just get to meet somebody that's on the team. And I think that's something I'm going to really miss. Not really the X's and O's and the wins and losses, but just the ability to make someone's day without knowing how big of a deal that is to them.
All right, thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.